I ignored her last call. What happened next ruined my life. Asterisk. I remember the exact moment my phone started vibrating. Her name lit up the screen. I saw it. I hesitated, and I chose not to answer. I told myself I'd call her back in 5 minutes. That call never happened, because that night, she died. I was 27, exhausted, and convinced I had more time. We had argued earlier that day, nothing dramatic. One of those quiet fights where no one yells, but everything feels heavy. She wanted me to come over. I said I was busy. She said, just for a few minutes. That was the last thing she ever said to me. At 2:43 a.m., my phone rang again. This time, it wasn't her. The police officer spoke slowly, like each word weighed 100 pounds. Car accident. Intersection downtown. Instant. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stared at my phone, at the missed call notification that refused to disappear. For months, that screen haunted me. Guilt doesn't arrive all at once. It creeps in grocery stores, at red lights, at night, when the world goes quiet and there's nowhere to hide. I replayed the moment over and over. What if I had answered? What if she needed me? What if my voice could have changed everything? I never got answers, just silence. A year passed. People said I should move on. I tried. I deleted her photos, stopped visiting the places we loved, even changed my number. Anything to escape the memory of that call. It almost worked. Almost. One evening, waiting for the bus after work, I noticed someone standing a few feet away. Same height, same posture, same nervous habit of rubbing her thumb against her palm. My chest tightened. It couldn't be her. She was gone. Yet when she turned around, my breath disappeared. The resemblance wasn't perfect, but it was close enough to hurt. She smiled politely. Not the smile I remembered, softer, uncertain. Sorry, she said. Do you know when the next bus comes? Her voice wasn't hers, but it echoed. I forced myself to answer. We talked. About work. About the weather. About nothing important. And yet, everything felt heavy. Before she got on the bus, she paused and looked at me strangely. This is weird, she said, half laughing. But I feel like I've met you before. I said nothing. That night, I didn't sleep. I told myself it was coincidence. That grief can make strangers look familiar. Then, 3 days later, I saw her again. Same bus stop. Same time. This time, she smiled like she recognized me. Her name was Anna. She told me she had survived a serious accident a year earlier. Head trauma. Memory loss. Doctors called it rare, selective amnesia. She remembered facts, faces of family, but entire pieces of her life were gone. My heart started racing. I didn't ask where the accident happened. I was afraid I already knew. We started talking every evening. Then getting coffee. Then dinner. Every conversation felt like walking on thin ice. There were moments, small ones, that terrified me. The way she laughed at the same jokes. The way she hated loud restaurants. The way she stared out of windows when thinking. It was her, but not her. One night, sitting across from me, she suddenly went quiet. Can I ask you something strange? She said. Sure. Do you ever feel like you missed something important? Like, one wrong decision changed everything? I swallowed hard. Yes, I said, every day. She nodded slowly. Me too. I don't know why. I never told her the truth. I convinced myself it would hurt her. That ignorance was mercy. But guilt doesn't disappear, it evolves. Every time she smiled at me, I wondered if I deserved it. Every time she touched my hand, I remembered the call I ignored. And deep down, I was terrified. Terrified that one day, she would remember. She remembered something she wasn't supposed to. There's a moment in every lie when you realize it's no longer under your control. For me, that moment came on a rainy Thursday night. Anna and I were sitting in my car, parked outside her apartment. The rain tapped against the windshield, steady and calm, the kind of sound that makes silence feel heavier. She stared straight ahead, fingers gripping the strap of her bag. "You ever feel like your memories don't belong to you?" she asked. I turned to her. "What do you mean?" She hesitated. "Sometimes I remember things, but they don't feel real. Like dreams that hurt." My stomach tightened. She told me the flashes had started recently. A street light flickering, the smell of gasoline, someone shouting her name, not my name, another name. She couldn't place it, but she said every time it happened, her chest hurt, like her body remembered something her mind refused to accept. I told her it was normal. That trauma does strange things. It was the first time I lied directly to her face. A few days later, she asked if I'd walk with her after dinner. We didn't plan where to go. That's what scared me, because somehow, without realizing it, we ended up downtown, near the intersection, the one I had avoided for a year. She slowed her steps. Her breathing changed. "This place," she whispered. "I don't like this place." Cars rushed past us. Same sounds. Same lights. She pressed a hand to her temple. "I think something happened here." I wanted to grab her hand and pull her away. But I froze. Just like I froze when my phone rang. She took a step closer to the curb. Then another. Suddenly she staggered back, her eyes filled with tears. "I was scared," she said. "I remember being scared." People walked past us, unaware that my world was collapsing. I told her we should leave. She didn't argue, but the silence between us changed that night. After that, the questions started. Small at first. "Why do you look so nervous sometimes? Why do you know what coffee I like before I say it? Why do you flinch when I mention accidents?" I brushed them off, but she noticed. She always did, even before. One evening, she came over unexpectedly. I hadn't hidden everything. I thought I had, but grief leaves traces. In drawers, in folders you forget exist. She found the box. Photos. Hospital bracelets. A folded funeral program. Her name printed on it. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just sat on the floor, staring at the paper like it might disappear. "This is me," she said quietly. I couldn't speak. "Why does it say I died?" The room felt too small to breathe in. I told her part of the truth. Not all of it. I said we had known each other. That we were close. That the accident took her memories, not her life. I didn't tell her about the call. I didn't tell her I was the last person she tried to reach. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she looked at me like a stranger. "So you met me again," she said slowly. "And you didn't tell me who I was." "I was afraid," I said. "Of what?" I swallowed. "Of losing you." She stood up. "You don't get to decide what I remember," she said. "And you don't get to love me without the truth." She left that night. Days passed. No messages. No calls. I told myself I deserved it. Then, late Sunday evening, my phone buzzed. A message from her. "I found something. I think it explains everything." My hands shook. I asked where she was. She sent an address. The hospital. When I arrived, she was sitting in the waiting room. Eyes red. Face pale. She told me she had requested her old medical records. There was something strange. The timeline. The report said she had tried to call someone repeatedly just minutes before the crash. The name was blurred in the copy. But the time wasn't. It matched the missed call on my phone. She looked at me. "Was it you?" she asked. I opened my mouth. No sound came out, because this time, there was no avoiding the moment. The truth didn't set us free. It destroyed what we had left. Asterisk. The waiting room smelled like disinfectant and old coffee. Anna sat across from me, her hands folded tightly in her lap. She didn't cry. That scared me more than anything. "Was it you?" she asked again. The call before the accident. The clock on the wall ticked loudly. I nodded. Once. Her breath caught. She didn't yell. She leaned back in the chair and stared at the ceiling like she was counting cracks. "So," she said slowly, "I was trying to reach you, and you didn't answer." "I saw the call," I said. "I thought I had time." Silence. Then she laughed, short, broken. "I always hated when you said that," she whispered. Later. In 5 minutes. Her words hit harder than any accusation. She stood up suddenly. "I need air." I followed her outside, into the cold night. She paced back and forth like her body didn't know where to go. "I remember flashes now," she said. The ringing. The panic. My phone slipping from my hand. She stopped in front of me. "I was scared," she said. "And you weren't there." "I know," I said. "And I will carry that for the rest of my life." For a moment, I thought she might hit me. Instead, she stepped closer. "I don't know what hurts more," she said quietly. "That you didn't answer, or that you found me again and loved me without letting me choose." I had no defense. Because she was right. We didn't see each other for weeks after that. I gave her space. Real space this time. No messages. No excuses. Just silence. I assumed that was the end. Then, one night, she knocked on my door. She looked exhausted, but calmer. "I've been remembering more," she said. "Not just the accident. Us." My heart stopped. She told me things she shouldn't have known. The cheap diner we used to love. The song we argued about on road trips. The stupid nickname I gave her that she pretended to hate. She remembered the good, but not the end. "I don't remember dying," she said. "I remember loving you." That sentence broke something inside me. "I don't know what to do," she continued. "My mind says you hurt me. But my body still trusts you." She reached for my hand. Then stopped. "I need to know something," she said. "If I remember everything, will you still want me?" "Yes," I said immediately. "Even if you hate me." She nodded slowly. We decided to try again. Carefully. Honestly. This time, no secrets. For a while, it worked. We laughed. We cooked together. We rebuilt something fragile and real. But memory doesn't return politely. It crashes in. One afternoon, we were driving. Music low. Traffic heavy. Suddenly she screamed. "Stop the car." I slammed the brakes. She was shaking. "I remember," she cried. "The intersection. The light. I was calling you." Cars honked behind us. She covered her face. "I thought if you answered, I wouldn't feel alone." I pulled over. She didn't look at me. That night, she packed a bag. "I need to know who I am without you," she said. Without the accident. Without the guilt. I wanted to beg her to stay. But I had already taken enough choices from her. I let her go. Weeks passed. Then months. No contact. I told myself that was love too, letting go. One evening, my phone rang. An unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But this time, I did. Her voice was calm. "I remembered everything," she said. My heart pounded. And there was a pause. I don't know if that means I can forgive you, she said. But I know I can't pretend you don't exist. Do you want to see me? I asked. Another pause. Yes, she said, but not to go back. We met at a cafe. Same one as before. She looked like herself again. Stronger. Different. I'm leaving the city, she said. Starting over. On my own. I nodded. I needed you to know, she continued, that the call wasn't the only reason for the accident. I looked up. What do you mean? She hesitated. I was already distracted, she said. Upset. Not paying attention. The guilt shifted, but didn't disappear. She stood up. I don't regret loving you, she said. But I can't live in a story that almost killed me twice. She leaned down and kissed my cheek. Soft. Final. Take care, she said. Then she walked away. I stayed there for a long time, wondering if love is about being forgiven, or simply learning to answer when it matters. Some stories don't end, they just leave a scar. Asterisk. I watched her disappear into the crowd. The city lights reflected off wet asphalt. Her figure shrank with every step. I wanted to call her back. I wanted to run after her. I wanted to rewind time and answer that call. But I didn't. Days passed. I wandered the streets we used to walk together. The cafe, the bookstore, the little diner on 5th. Everything reminded me of her. And yet, I knew she wouldn't come back. Weeks later, I got a letter. No sender name. Just her handwriting. It read, I don't know if this is closure or a warning. I remembered everything, and I still love you. But love isn't always enough. Take care of yourself. I held it for hours, torn between relief and heartbreak. The truth. We loved each other. Deeply, madly, but life had other plans. And sometimes, love isn't about holding on. It's about letting go, while keeping the memory alive. Months passed. I dated. I laughed. I met someone new. But shadows of her smile, the echo of her voice, never left. I realized, the past doesn't vanish. It shapes the person you are. Then one rainy night, just like that night, I received a text. I hope you're okay. I never stopped thinking about you. No signature, no explanation, just a memory reaching out from the past. I stared at the message. And for the first time in a long time, I smiled. Because some love stories don't end the way you expect. They leave questions. They leave scars. They leave hope. And sometimes, that's enough. If this story touched you, or made you feel something, hit like and subscribe for more real love stories that will stay with you forever.